Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever time of day it is. Hi, how you going? It's me, Kat, and I need to have a little talk with you guys. I know there aren't a lot of you right now, but I owe it to my subscribers and to myself to be honest. I've been honest about my mental health since the beginning, and it's not the best right now, and unfortunately I've had to reevaluate everything I'm doing in my life, including YouTube, and consider what is best for me right now. I'm going to get into it in a minute, but basically I have cut back on a few things, so I'm not volunteering at the Cat Centre at this point in time. With my work, I work at a tax office, so generally over the tax season, so from 1st of July for a couple of months, it's really busy, and I don't volunteer over that time. But in the quiet season, that's when kitten season happens over the summer, and so I can volunteer more because I have less work hours. So my volunteer work works really well with my work, but this year I've cut myself off the roster early because even though I'm only volunteering half a day a week, it's too much for me right now. So I've cut that back. I will go back after the tax season. I'm not cutting it out of my life completely. I have a lot of friends there and I've been volunteering there for several years now, so I will go back. I don't know if I mentioned this on my channel or not. I know my life supporters are fully aware of what is going on and what I've been going through, and they've been amazing. I cannot thank them enough. So if any of my life supporters are watching this, thank you. You have helped me feel less horrible about myself, and I appreciate you so much. Basically, I have been studying while I've been working, while at work and at home too, to be a tax consultant. So going from reception to consulting, and it is hard. It's very hard, like as us Aussies say, it's hard slog. Like it's really, it's just a thick wall of text and it's so hard to get through. So that's been stressful. So just imagine I've been volunteering, working, studying, and then 2 months ago I decided I wanted to get fit again and started a 10-week fitness regimen, slowly increasing over those 10 weeks, and intermittent fasting, gluten-free, refined sugar-free, all the healthy stuff. All stuff I've done before and has worked for me in getting fit and losing weight to a lesser degree. Well, within a couple of weeks of that happening, I took both my cats to the vet, Mal and Sora. You guys would have met them in my Starting My Family video, which is I think my second or third video, I don't remember. And it was just for their yearly checkup, for their vaccinations, everything, make sure everything's all good. Mal had a bald patch on the lower half of his back, and it turned out to be fleas, which I was absolutely stunned by because we have been treating them for fleas since we had a flea outbreak in October last year in the house, which I don't know how that happened because they're purely indoor cats, but anyway, he had his back shaved and we had to do an ointment to help with the rash, and yeah, really, really expensive flea treatments for both of them. And Sora had a heart murmur. So the vet said that Sora may just be really stressed, which is a possibility because he's very shy and very timid. He doesn't like the vet, for obvious reasons. He generally doesn't like people in the house he doesn't know. He has gotten used to a lot of our friends though, so that's nice. So he said, yeah, might just be stress. Bring him back in a month and we'll see if it's still there. Brought him back and it was still there. And I said, right, we need to do an ultrasound to get a good look at the heart and find what's going on, see if there's an issue or if it's just stress. We're like, okay, let's do this. Ultrasound, and he has heart disease. At the age of 18 months, my beautiful cat has pretty far advanced heart disease. It was a huge shock to us. It's not curable. So he will have this for the rest of his shortened lifespan. It does shorten the lifespan, so we don't have a timeline of how long he's going to live. It's different speeds and different stages for every cat, and unfortunately it can go downhill very quickly, it can stay steady. It's so hard to tell. So that was really hard for us. So he was put on a medication to stop clots forming in the heart, which is very common in heart disease. And his left, I think it's his left atrium, is enlarged as well, so that doesn't help either. Yes, so he got put on a medication which stops clots from forming in the heart, and if that happens it can be sent out of the heart and cause paralysis in the legs and severe pain, and if that happens it's over, like that's it, we're not going to let him live in pain like that. So that medication is to stop clots from happening, stop that from happening, and that's what he started out on. They said to us we need to monitor his respiratory rate, which is basically his breaths per minute while he is at rest. So we just start a minute timer, count how many breaths he's taking while he's sleeping on the couch or wherever, and anything below 30 is really good. So the day after we went to the vet, we counted his respiratory rate and it was 37. Jack and I basically had meltdowns. We thought, he seems so happy, so healthy up until these vet appointments, and now his respiratory rate is above what is a healthy level. We freaked out for a solid 2 hours between us and decided that we would monitor his respiratory rate every day for a week, and if it was staying steady but still above 30, we would call it. So 37 was a bit of a fluke, but it stayed between 35 and 33 for the week, so it was still above 30. So we called the vet back, very concerned. The vet we normally would see was on leave, so we saw a different vet, but they had read through Sora's extensive notes, and we have a little book, a little diary, so we write the time, the date, his respiratory rates, how many breaths he's taken for the minute, and any stresses he's had that day. So if there was like a thunderstorm or the vacuum or people came over or he was at the vet, like things like that have upset him or stressed him, we write that in there, because stress can also result in a higher respiratory rate. So we took him back in and she said, so it looks like we've got fluid in or around the lungs. We're going to put him on a low dose diuretic to help get rid of that fluid from in or around the lungs to help him breathe a bit easier. So he was put on 1 tablet a day for the diuretic a day, and for 2 weeks, I think it was, not even that, like a week, I think it was another week or 2 weeks, a week to 2 weeks, I don't remember. So about another week to 2 weeks after that, we noticed no change, no difference, so we went back to the vet again. They said because there was no difference on the medication, it might possibly be outside of his lungs, because apparently the only way to get rid of fluid outside of the lungs is to put a needle in and physically drain it. So they said, right, we're at that stage now where we need to do another ultrasound. So 2 ultrasounds in a month. He literally had 3 weeks between ultrasounds. To see where the fluid is exactly, because it's built up over that time, and if we need to drain it, we can drain it. If we need to put him on better medication, we can do that. So 3 weeks after his first ultrasound, he had another one. And yes, I know what you're thinking, it is expensive, and it is expensive, but these are our children. I've said it in the Starting a Family video, but we're not having kids. These cats, Mao and Zora, they are our children. and Sora especially, Jack is very attached to. So we're going to do everything we can to help him. So they gave him a second ultrasound, and in the 3 weeks since his last one, he had fluid build up in his lungs, so it wasn't outside, so we didn't have to drain it, and his heart had gotten worse. I didn't explain the heart. So with heart disease, the walls are too thick or too thin. Sora's heart is too thick, so it doesn't pump blood properly. To explain that, because I didn't explain that very well. Anyway, so the fact that his heart had gotten worse and his lungs had started building up fluid in 3 weeks, not a good sign. It means it's progressing quite quickly. So basically, after we figured this out, with the fluid in the lungs and the heart being worse, the vet basically said, right, we need to up the dose of the diuretic, help get that fluid off his lungs. So he went from 1 whole tablet to 3 half tablets on a higher dosage as well, I think. More spread out throughout the day. So I would give him a tablet 6 a.m. in the morning. Jack would give him a tablet at 2:30 during his lunch break while he was at home, because he's working from home. And then Jack would give Sora his medication, or if I was awake, we would help each other give Sora his medication at 10:30 at night. And that was not only the diuretic, but the blood clot one as well. Yes, so it went from 0 to like 10, 100, whatever, 0 to 100 in like that, and is very hard to deal with, and it's very stressful, and it's very upsetting, and it's hard to accept that he's not going to get better. It's not curable. We're just helping prevent his pain and trying to stop any further pain from happening. But it will eventually get to a point where his quality of life won't be where it should be. And I've told Jack he can make that call. I can't make that call. Obviously, I'm getting upset just talking about it. But yes, we've already made plans for when it gets to that point and when he passes as well. So I know that sounds a bit harsh, but that's the cool reality of it. But I haven't finished with the story, so we'll go back to that. Skip to Thursday last week. I was at work, and Jack called me, and he said that Sora's respiratory rate was at 40, which is the most it's ever been. I immediately call the vet, and he says to double. He says to double Sora's diuretic medication. The blood clot one stays the same. We don't need to worry about that. So it went from 3 half tablets a day to 3 full tablets a day. So now he's taking 4 tablets a day. Since then, his respiratory rate was 32 yesterday, so it's gone way down, which is what we wanted, 100%. And actually went and picked up a prescription repeat because the medication dosage has doubled. We're going through it a lot quicker. Yeah, so the reason I haven't really done a video sooner is because it's still up in the air, it's still going on, and it's still stressful and frustrating and upsetting, and I'm not entirely sure how to deal with it myself. I've been trying to relax and not let things get to me, but unfortunately with my disorders, stress and anxiety crop up, and they make other things pop up, especially my BPD. I've been trying to cut back, so I stopped studying for a little while. I was cutting back how much I was volunteering. I was, not worrying about what I was eating, not worrying about exercise. All my life supporters know this, but yeah. And then over the weekend, since Sora's new medication dosage thing, I've decided that I'm not coping well at all, and I need to cut back on some things. And one of those things was volunteer work, and another one of those things is my YouTube channel. So as of basically end of July, I will be having a break. The reason I say end of July is because I have enough Beat Saber videos stored up to get to the end of July. I'm going to do a bunch of filming this week and this weekend as well, and try and store up enough videos to get me through to the end of July, and then I'll have a break over my working period, and see where I am after the tax season. I've also done a bunch of other stuff if people are interested to know. I changed my fitness regimen, so I changed it back to my old one, which I know a million times over. I'm not forcing myself to do it, it's there if I want to do it, sort of thing. I'm still avoiding refined sugar and gluten where I can, but I'm not being harsh on myself if I want a chocolate bar or a bit of bread. Like, you know, I'm just being hard on myself is just making everything more stressful. So if I feel like some KFC, I'm gonna have some KFC. Yes, I'm mostly trying to concentrate on my study. I really want to get that done. There's no real time limit on it, but it's been sitting there and not progressing for the last 2 months, which is how all this sort of stuff has been going on. There's one other thing I want to say. I won't be continuing with the May challenge, the 20-a-day May. It's just too much for me right now. I can't even hold up a regular exercise routine, let alone my morning and night routines of, you know, just getting up, having a shower, having breakfast, brushing my teeth. Everything is a bit just too much, and my mental health is taking a toll. I know I seem okay, but I'm really not. And I owe it to you guys to be totally honest and say, well, you know, I'm not actually doing the challenge. Because I could have just lied and filmed myself going, oh, day 1 done, day 2 done. And I did get the first 2 or 3 days done, and then I just couldn't do it anymore. I have opted for instead doing social media free May. So if you want to continue with 20-a-day May, you can. That's fine. You're doing better than me. You know, challenge yourself. Don't do anything anyone else tells you to do. But if you want to continue with 20-a-day May, good. I am switching to no social media May instead, because I've already removed all my social media apps. Other than Life, I don't consider that social media. I consider it a support system, and it's so good for my mental health just to be able to talk to people and let it all out. But yeah, so Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter, and I had Facebook deleted already, so all those apps are gone. I still have my profiles there, so if anyone wants to follow me, you can. I just won't see it for ages, so, and I don't really use them anyway. Yeah, so if you'd like to join me in social media free May instead, you can start today. If not, that's fine. As far as the 12-month challenge goes, I am somewhere in the middle of stopping it altogether and just changing the challenges to be a bit more mental health orientated, just until I get back up on my feet again. At this point in time, I've literally just gone back to basics of, you know, doing my daily things I should be doing every day, like meditation and stretches on my back and drinking water and having a sleep routine, and just normal things that normal people just do very easily that I can't. To recap, very briefly, not doing well mentally due to sort of having heart disease and being unwell, and stopping YouTube at the end of July, not continuing with 20-a-day May, but instead no social media May. Unsure as to whether or not the 12-month challenge will continue, or whether the challenges will just be changed to better suit my lifestyle at this point in time. I feel relieved. I feel like failure. I feel like I'm doing the right thing. Because as much as we want our lives to be perfect, as much as, we hope that we can get through everything, sometimes we can't. And sometimes we just have to say, I can't do this. I need to take a step back. I need to readjust my lifestyle and what I'm doing. And this is one of those times. I appreciate everyone who has supported me on my channel. I appreciate everyone who has supported me on life and in Sora's journey. So many people on life have been asking me continually how Sora is doing, so I appreciate everyone there. Thank you so much. I just hope people understand, because this is really difficult for me. Not just with Sora, but with cutting back on everything and saying no. I've always been someone to go and never stop and run myself into the ground, and this time it's not physical, it's mental. I'm mentally running myself into the ground and I need to stop. Thank you for watching and listening to me ramble on for however long this video is. I appreciate your time. I will continue posting videos until the end of July, or at least Beat Saber Fridays until the end of July. Until then, enjoy my videos, and after then, I will see you when I come back. And or if I continue with the 12-month challenges, I will keep you updated. I will let you know. But I felt I need to be honest about this month's challenge and what I've been going through, and the fact that I'm just not doing well. But yeah. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.